Hey everyone, welcome. It feels like AI is all anyone can talk about lately. But here's the thing, while we've been busy with chatbots, the ground has been shifting under our feet. We are on the verge of moving from AI as a simple tool to AI as an autonomous teammate. And that leap, it changes everything. So, what does that really mean for us? Let's get into it. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll break down the huge leap AI is taking right now. Then we'll dive into these new agentic AIs and the massive governance gap they're creating. After that, we'll look at how regulators are racing to catch up, see how businesses are kind of stuck in the middle of it all, and wrap up with why 2026 is shaping up to be the ultimate test of who's ready and who's not.
All right, first things first. We have to get on the same page. To really grasp where all this is headed, we need to be super clear about the difference between the AI we use every day and this next massive evolutionary step.
Okay, so what most of us are using right now, that's called narrow AI. It's incredibly powerful, but it's a specialist. Think about it. Your spam filter is a genius at finding junk mail, but it can't order you a pizza. A chess bot might beat a grandmaster, but it has no idea how to file your taxes. Then, on the other side, you have the big dream, AGI, or artificial general intelligence. Now, this is still theoretical, but the goal here is totally different. It's an AI with a flexible, adaptable, human-like mind that can learn and solve problems in pretty much any area you throw it at. And when you really break it down, the gap is huge. Today's AI, it needs tons and tons of training data. If it runs into something it wasn't trained on, it pretty much hits a wall. AGI, on the other hand, is all about learning as it goes, from experience, and then applying that knowledge to new situations. It's really the difference between a tool that just follows a very specific set of instructions and an intellect that can actually reason on its own.
So yeah, true AGI might still be a ways off, but we're now seeing something new emerge that's kind of a bridge to that future. It's called agentic AI. And this isn't some sci-fi theory. This is happening right now, and it's already starting to transform how businesses get things done.
So what is agentic AI? Well, you can think of it as an autonomous system that can take a complex goal, like plan a marketing campaign for our new product, break it down into smaller steps, figure out the best way to get it done, and then just do it, all without a human needing to sign off on every little action. So we're talking less helpful chatbot and more digital employee. And believe me, this is not a niche thing. Gartner is predicting that by the end of 2026, which is right around the corner, a staggering 40% of enterprise apps are going to have these AI agents built right in. This is the official, sanctioned, explosive growth that's coming our way. But, and this is a huge but, here's the other side of the story. While companies are planning their official rollouts, 68% of employees are already using AI tools on their own, with zero approval from IT. This is what we call shadow AI, and it is creating a colossal, dangerous blind spot for businesses. And that creates a really risky situation. I mean, listen to this. The result is a sprawling, ungoverned landscape of autonomous agents, executing tasks across sensitive systems with credentials no one audited and permissions no one scoped. That's not just a problem. It's a security nightmare waiting to happen. And this brings us right to the heart of the problem. This new wave of autonomous AI doesn't just bend our old security rules, it completely breaks them. The fundamental assumptions our entire digital world is built on, they're becoming obsolete. Just think about it. Our security models were designed for people. One person gets one login, we follow predictable workflows. But an AI agent, it's a whole different ballgame. One agent can create dozens of sub-agents, each with its own identity. Its behavior isn't predictable. It follows its own logic. And here's the real kicker. It can pull together data from all over the company at machine speed, way faster than any human ever could. This leads to a critical vulnerability that some experts are calling excessive agency. See, when you tell an agent to get the job done and give it broad permissions, it's going to do exactly that. It will optimize for completing the task above all else. A person might pause and say, hey, this request looks weird, should I really do this? But an AI agent, it just executes. It doesn't have that common sense filter. So the answer isn't to just ban everything. That's not realistic. The answer is to govern it properly. And that requires a whole new playbook built on 5 pillars. You have to know every single agent in your system, give each one a unique identity, grant it only the permissions it needs for a specific task, and for a limited time, watch what it's doing in real time, and make sure it all stays compliant.
Now, it's not just businesses that are scrambling. Governments are in a flat-out race to get a handle on this. And the biggest piece of regulation on the entire planet is coming from the European Union. It's called the EU AI Act.
And you need to know, the clock on this is already ticking, loudly. Bans on some of the riskiest AI systems start in early 2025. And by August 2026, the full force of this law comes down on all high-risk AI. That is not far away at all.
So who does this affect? Pretty much everyone. It's not just for the companies building AI. If you use it, if you import it, if you distribute it, you're on the hook. And the requirements are serious. We're talking about formal risk management systems, tight data governance, and maybe most importantly, making sure there are actual human oversight safeguards in place. And what happens if you don't comply? Well, the penalties are absolutely massive. The fines can go up to 35 million euros, or, get this, 7% of your company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher. A number like that gets everyone's attention fast.
So you've got this internal risk from shadow AI and this huge external pressure from regulators. It's pushing every single company to a major crossroads. Right now, there is a massive gap between what leaders want to achieve with AI and the reality of their operations.
I mean, don't get me wrong, companies are seeing some benefits. About 2/3 say they're improving efficiency, which is great. But look at the bottom of the list. Only 20% are actually increasing revenue. The big, game-changing goals? For most, they're still just an aspiration. And this chart really tells the whole story. It exposes the core conflict. You ask leaders about their AI strategy, and 42% feel highly prepared. They're confident. But then you ask them about risk, governance, talent, and data, and that confidence just falls off a cliff. They know what they want to do, but they don't have the how. To put an even finer point on it, only 1 in 5 companies today has a mature, working model for governing these autonomous agents. Let that sink in. That means 80% of organizations are essentially flying blind into this new era. It goes right back to that huge governance gap we were just talking about. Okay, so this all leads us to our final point. The next couple of years, and 2026 in particular, are going to be a massive test. It's a test that will clearly separate the companies that are truly leading from those that are just going to be left behind. So let's just quickly recap the whole story. AI is evolving from a simple tool into an autonomous agent. That shift is creating a huge immediate risk from ungoverned shadow AI because our old security models simply can't keep up. At the exact same time, tough new regulations with massive fines are coming down the pike. So the only way forward is to stop seeing governance as a roadblock and start seeing it for what it is, the essential foundation that makes real innovation possible.
Which really leaves us with one final critical question. By 2026, autonomous agents are going to be a core part of how business gets done, period. So the question every single leader needs to be asking themselves right now is this: are we building a true strategic advantage on a solid foundation of governance, or are we just building a house of cards, waiting for the first strong wind to knock it all down?